So the morning show is back with its third season, and it's clear to see that this season, like the previous two, it's going to be filled with a lot of drama, as one of Apple's first shows to go big tries to continue its successful run. With space being ventured into and a cyber attack all happening in the first two episodes, it's safe to say that it was an eventful one, and it painted the direction for the entire season. So with that, I thought I'd recap, break down, and explain all that there was to take away from the first two episodes. So let's get into it. Here is the morning show season 3 episode 1 and 2 ending explained. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. I'll break this video down by the characters and their arcs as that's the most digestible way. Bradley. Bradley is at the center of the hacking scandal of UBA due to a private video that she filmed for Laura potentially being released to the public, and the way that she responds is going to be something that will dictate her future within the show. She's perceived to be the squeaky clean presenter that's almost like the second coming of Alex in terms of the likability that she brings in from the public. However, this could change it all. We saw that she's still the same as what she'd been in the previous episodes of the show. She continues to wear her heart on her sleeve and she wants to be able to make a direct difference with the work that she does. However, she's getting more and more caught up in the bubble of the corporation and realizing the higher you go, the less of an impact you have over the decisions that lead to being able to make a difference. Her commitment and passion was something which was best reflected when she was up in space and she looked down over Earth and realized how connected everybody actually was, despite all of their differences. With the video that she filmed for Laura potentially being on the cusp of being released and Alex not initially standing by her due to Alex almost having nothing to lose in terms of what the public thought of her due to the fact that everything was basically out there, Bradley was very much on her own. That was right up until the ending of the episode when Alex apologized and was there for her. With Bradley speaking with Corey in private in this episode about the hacking, it very much feels like that one private video is only one of several things that could end up jeopardizing her career and reputation amongst the public if it were to be leaked, so I guess time will tell with that. Alex. Alex is walking around like she owns the place, and despite the fact that I do like that about the character, she also doesn't. And if I worked with her, I'd be getting frustrated because she's not the boss. Even when she goes to Sybil, who's her ally, she wants to put her in her place because she feels that she's getting too big for her own boots. With Corey looking to sell off UBA to Paul so that more money can be put into the network, the streaming arm, and every other arm of the business, Alex is strongly against it because the network would lose all integrity and would be the voice of one particular side, especially when it came to politics. So the relatability to the public would be instantly lost, and it could prove to be damaging. So it very much feels like her fight is going to be with UBA and with Corey in this season, despite feeling as though she's the untouchable individual. She walked in on Chip and Isabella being intimate with one another in episode 2 of the show, and we saw that she was completely shocked. With Isabella being her assistant and Chip being a dear friend of hers, I think this is almost symbolic of the lack of impartiality that's present throughout most arms of the network. And it shows that Alex quite literally has nobody that she feels as though she can say anything to, where there isn't a chance of it not getting back to anybody. Corey. Corey is looking to sell UBA, and it's clear to see that despite the fact that he's the CEO and wants to make all of the decisions, he essentially holds none of the power, as the board are the individuals that are standing in his way of essentially making any decisions. Right at the end of the episode, with the hacking taking place and the threat of data being leaked out into the public being a large threat, we saw that he was having a fake contract drawn up which would document details of the acquisition by Paul, and it seems like he's going to leak it out there himself in order to make the information publicly known, as there didn't seem to be anything about that stored on files. So despite Sybil being against the selling of the network and Alex also being against it too, he's going to take things into his own hands and wave around the power that he believes he has in order to get what he wants. But this could be the beginning of his undoing. The line that Sybil said where she mentioned how there'd been lots of people over the years that entered thinking that they were God and ultimately they went on to fail. This could be where Corey's demise ultimately begins, so it's going to be interesting to see if it does. Emma. Emma didn't have too large of an involvement in the first 2 episodes, other than being the type of individual that we've seen before. However, the main revelation came at the end of the episode when we saw that she got her phone back from the cyber protection team after ensuring that it was okay to give back and was no longer able to be hacked. It was at this moment where we saw that there was a photo from several years ago of herself and billionaire Paul together, the individual who wanted to acquire UBA. She hadn't informed anybody that there was some kind of relationship that was present there from the past. So I do wonder if she has any alternative motives and personal gains. So I do wonder what they could be. I guess we'll just have to wait until the next episode to see what ends up happening there. Overall review. I thought the first 2 episodes were okay. It set up the season well, and it looks like the show is going back to its roots with corruption, cover-ups, and the releasing of private information being at the core, ultimately tapping into what made the show so good in the first season, division and secrets. So that's something I'm definitely interested in seeing develop. The whole first episode did feel a bit pointless with the whole going into space thing. I feel like they should have just started the episode with the cyber attack. It would have made more sense and had me hooked from the moment that it started, rather than having a cliffhanger that realistically was never really a cliffhanger. There was no way that they were going to kill off Bradley and Corey in the first episode of the season. It would have been brave, and I would have respected it, but it never felt like it was going to happen. Jennifer Anniston and Reece Witherspoon are very good in the roles that they play in this show, and it's good to see them back on screen together. They've carried the show in the past, and I imagine they'll do the same this time round. Chip is also a personal favourite of mine, as I feel he provides the relatability, as he's not really ever caught up in any of the mess, and he just provides a very human response most of the time. Plus, he often has the comic relief nailed down. Do I think the show's time has come to an end? Not necessarily. I know there's a lot of boredom that's associated with this show now, but it does feel like it has an okay story at its core this time round. I feel UBA is almost going to be going through a civil war, and I'm definitely interested to see how it will end, and who will ultimately end up on top. With the cyber attack looking like it could be on the cusp of being solved, I'm intrigued to see the reaction from the public and the staff in next week's episode. The show is going to have to do a lot to stay interesting and keep me hooked, but let's see if it can as time goes on. So, there you have it, the Morning Show Season 3 Episode 1 and 2 Ending Explained. If you want to see more videos such as Endings Explained, theories and predictions and character breakdowns, then click on the I button, or alternatively you can head over to my channel where you'll find them all. If you'd like to give me a show or movie that you'd like me to review, then head over to my Twitter @BrainPilot_, and tweet me what show or movie you'd like me to review next. And finally, if you'd like to see what I rate the latest movies that don't quite make the cut to getting a dedicated video, then head over to my Letterboxd profile. It's where I rate the latest releases in real time. What did you think of the first 2 episodes? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.